Greetings! We are from Group 3 and this video showcases some of the most interesting things we learned during our trip to Yogyakarta. Our first stop was Museum Sono Budoyo. This museum was founded in 1934 and officially opened by Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono VIII in 1935. The name Sono Budoyo itself is derived from the word Sasono, meaning place, and Budoyo, meaning culture. Thus, it is a cultural museum specializing in collecting artifacts and historical materials related to the cultures of Java, Madura, Lombok, and Bali. This museum consists of two buildings. The first is Gedung Thomas Karsten, and the second is Gedung Hasta Brata. Now, let's take a look at the first building, as well as the first room as we step into the Rumah Jawa room.
In this room, we were greeted by several specific collections commonly used in Javanese culture, and one of them is called pasren. And it is gifted directly from Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono VIII, created in 1765. The function of the pasren is to serve as a symbol in traditional ceremonies for praying to the rice goddess, known as Dewi Sri. The pasren itself consists of several types of objects, such as dipan or bed, which is not used for human sleep, but rather as a resting place for the rice goddess, Dewi Sri, along with her husband Raden Sadono.
In the center, there is patung Loro Blonyo. Loro means two, and Blonyo refers to being blessed. This depicts a married couple, Dewi Sri and her husband, Raden Sadono. Typically, in a Javanese home, this pasren is placed in the sentong tengah or the central room of the house. Now we're moving to the second building, Gedung Hasta Brata. This building was opened in 2022 by Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono X. The building has 6 floors, but the collection is only displayed on floors 1 through 4. Now, let's take a look at some of the collections.
This is a collection as well as history of art performance in the old Javanese period. We can see these gamelan sets from Madura are usually larger in size than the ones from Java, and their main difference lies in their melodies or rhythms. Next is the Budaya, also known as Budoyo dance, which originated from the royal palace and is performed exclusively there. The rules required only unmarried women may dance, they must not be menstruating, and the number of dancers must always be odd as Nyi Roro Kidul is believed to complete the group.
Another interesting form of art performance is Wachinwa, Chinese-Javanese wayang kulit, which tells classic Chinese legends, but the narration uses the Javanese Moko dialect. Wachinwa was created in 1925 by a Chinese man, Gan Tuan Sing, and only became popular in 2024. The most famous story is the tale of Si Jin Kui. Here's a fun fact about Wachinwa. The puppets' costumes can be changed freely because the heads and bodies are separated.
Moving on to the next room, which was an interesting one where we can see an animated version of the Ajisaka folktale painted on the wall with sounds coming out of the speaker. It is explained that the battle went through 4 stages, explained in Javanese script, which consists of Hane Charaka, means there was a messenger, Deta Sawala, means they fought each other, Pada Jayanya, means equally fierce, and Magabatanga, means all perished. Through this visit, we certainly learn about the diversity of the Javanese culture and Indonesia in general in just one place.
During our group discussion, we found one statue that left a remarkable impression, and that is the Ngurek statue or Patung Ngurek from Bali. It represents one of the sacred Balinese Hindu rituals called Ngurek, where participants stab themselves with a keris while in an unconscious state. Even though the keris touches their body, they are believed to remain unharmed because they are spiritually protected by ancestral spirit and divine power. The ritual is performed as a form of devotion and surrender to God. It is also believed to invite the presence of ancestral spirits and to bring safety and protection to the community. Usually, the performers are men, and the ritual is performed during important religious ceremonies in Bali. Similar traditions can also be found in Java, such as debut performances.
Based on the Ngurek statue, we can analyze it from Aristotle's mimetic theory, which explains how art functions as an imitation or representation of real life. The Ngurek statue imitates the real ritual performance practiced in Balinese ceremonies. Through its visual form, the statue recreates the dramatic movement, emotional intensity, and spiritual atmospheres of the original ritual. Therefore, the statue serves as an artistic representation of reality, allowing people to understand and reflect on the values, beliefs, and traditions of Balinese culture through visual art.
Now that we've explored the fascinating history and hidden stories behind Museum Sono Budoyo, it's time to move on and discover what we learned during our visit to Harian Jogja. The second and last stop we went to was Harian Jogja, where we discussed the transformation of media and journalism in the digital era. Harian Jogja is a local newspaper publishing company based in Yogyakarta that was established in 2008, and its official website launched in 2010. They focus on producing reliable and recent news, and their activities include making newspapers, online news articles, radio broadcasting, and they even manage various events in Jogja. This is the newspaper that they created every day. During our meeting with Mr. Budi Cahyana, he explains that the pattern of consuming information has changed over time. People then rely on traditional ways of gathering information like newspapers or radio. With the current technological advancement, people now shifted from printed media to digital and social media like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, or X, where they can access information easily.
This creates a challenge to printed media companies like Harian Jogja in terms of monetization and marketing, since readers are now leaning towards social media and content-free platforms to gain information. Another issue is the decline in revenue from advertisement and newspaper circulation, forcing Harian Jogja to look for alternative sources of income. So, how did Harian Jogja overcome this?
They had to adapt to these changes by offering subscription services or paywall that provide exclusive content in their online media platform. Furthermore, they have introduced innovations such as brand content services, seminars, research services, and digital activation projects for clients. Media organizations now need to offer added value in order to stay relevant and survive in a competitive environment with changing consumer behavior.
Harian Jogja also emphasizes the importance of fact verification. Every piece of information published must be verified and based on facts, even though this process sometimes makes them slower than newer media platforms. Moreover, to gain public trust, media organizations need to ensure the quality and accuracy of the information they provide.
In addition, journalistic independence itself remains highly important because it allows media organizations to determine their reporting without outside interference. Verification and independence remain the main differences between mainstream media and homeless media, which often prioritize speed over accuracy.
News writing techniques have also evolved. The inverted pyramid style, which was highly relevant in print journalism, is becoming less effective on websites and social media platforms. Lastly, collaboration between educational institutions and media organizations has become increasingly important for sharing knowledge and expanding networks.
To conclude, media organizations that can maintain quality, stay relevant, and adapt to technological changes will have a greater chance of surviving and succeeding in the evolving media industry. And Harian Jogja is one of them, because they remain as one of the most well-known and respected media companies in Yogyakarta. Harian Jogja can be found across social media platforms such as @HarianJogja on Instagram and Threads, @Harian_Jogja on X, and their official website, harianjogja.com. That is all from Group 3. Thank you.